So this is the styrofoam drawing I started working on today using a piece that I brought over from Mom's place to Dad's place. Along with some of the Sharpie markers that in this big box that I got for Christmas. It's kind of ironic, well, maybe or maybe not, I just find it interesting that this is called a chisel tip when these are among some of the biggest tips on a Sharpie marker. And as such, it not really suited to be called a chisel tip since a big tip isn't really suitable for being precise. Which you might expect a chisel is for, making precise shapes. These are some sweet peas. I had the mac and cheese around noon. Dad gave me milk both in the morning and now, presumably because it's on its expiration date, but at times those dates can be pretty arbitrary, so oftentimes you can get away with drinking milk that's past the expiration date. As store-bought milk is always pasteurized. This is some of the magnesium water. I uploaded yesterday's my dinner video to YouTube around 11 in the morning to noon, around that time. It ended up being a 52-minute and 49-second U-cut project. I deleted every single My Dinner video, both the U-cut projects that form the My Dinner videos and their raw video files, in order to best ensure that, in order to make room for it, since I knew it would be a big one, and I still couldn't believe that I had the room to make that U-cut project. I thought the app was going to tell me that I didn't have enough space, and I would then have to delete some other videos, possibly some videos that I still have on my phone. that I recorded back during my study abroad trip in Italy and Greece. I got inspiration for that design from a short South Park clip that's 47 seconds long. That I found on YouTube. Mentioning the Ernest Hemingway book, The Old Man and the Sea, which is something I read in the past. I ended up falling asleep at some point during the afternoon and waking up at 5:30 p.m. I believe I drew the hat and the face line and the hair before I fell asleep around noon to the early afternoon, and then I drew the face and colored it in with an orange Sharpie marker. After I woke up from falling asleep. It's currently 9:29 p.m. Dad got home around 8 today after making a presumably brief trip at Salvatore's in order to get me that funnel cake as a surprise. I guess since today is Valentine's Day, the surprise would either be chocolate or a cheesecake from Wegmans. But no, it ended up being a funnel cake with confectionery sugar and cinnamon. On my current disciple run on the sword fight game on Congregate, I'm currently on level 741. I've got approximately 30,000 total fame for my current school. I'm saving up to level up the sleeping quarters. I maxed out every single fighting scroll at level 20. I'm currently researching the Mentor Mastery Scroll to level 7. It's going to take another hour and 5 minutes. For that sleeping quarters upgrade, I need 1 billion platinum, and I currently have 657.5 million saved up. I did some work on the 99th Dan Hamming episode. Adding in some dialogue. It took a while to remember the text-to-speech voice I used for the witness. I remember that I used the Dave text-to-speech voice. After briefly remembering about that time I attempted to hold a contest on my YouTube channel called Anger the Headmaster. Essentially a Go Animate video making contest. And no one ever sent me any entries. I think I had less than 1,000 subscribers at the time. I'm not sure how many people saw that video. For these chicken wings, it's a combination of garlic parm, hot, and sweet and sour. This one is a hot chicken wing. In the morning, from somewhere between 6 and 7 p.m., I had 2 French curler donuts from Dunkin' Donuts. Then I had with coffee, and then I finished the coffee somewhere between 9 and 10 in the morning. In total, I had about 2.5 cups of coffee, if I remember correctly. If in working on the 99th Dan Hamming episode, I added in a brief conversation in which the witness asked, "Smashed by the bat guy?" in response to the officer telling him that the cameras were all smashed, so they have no video of the suspects, except when I typed it out, bat, B-A-T, the Dave text-to-speech voice, being one of the older text-to-speech voices, that probably originated from 2013. The word that was supposed to sound like bat sounded too much like bad. So it sounded like Smashed by the Bad Guy in a way to me. So in an effort to make bat sound more like bat rather than bad, I spelled it BAHT, and that seemed to have some effect, at least to me. I found the Dave text-to-speech voice from the Narrator's Voice app, Android app, that I ran on this laptop through the BlueStacks 5 emulator. Yeah, which I don't like running on my laptop because it's always sluggish. I hear I can improve performance by allowing hardware acceleration or something like that, but apparently it's not an easy process. To allow that emulator to use hardware acceleration. It's not as simple as going to your settings on your laptop and clicking a button. This is the current side task I'm on. I completed more earlier. I found the Michael version 3 text-to-speech voice. Off of essentially the beta version 13 copy of Rapper Offline that I have on my laptop. I loaded it up. And thankfully that Michael V3 voice still worked. I'm investing my knowledge points into that ancient wonder because I have no technologies to put knowledge points into. We can't activate them currently. I don't have the necessary apprentices for that. Although I have greatly improved my production of apprentices from the Wisdom Square by upgrading these facilities. I had the first officer that talks to a witness in response to that new question I added in say, most likely. And then at that point, I wasn't really sure what to do next, so after I reworked the scenes so that no voice lines would overlap, I wasn't really sure what to do next, so I believe that was when I started working on this new styrofoam drawing. As a sort of activity to get out of a sort of writer's block, as I would describe it. I'm not sure how accurate that description is, but that's how I would describe it. It's currently 11:23 p.m. and I poured myself another glass of milk earlier. Then Dad got this apple cider vinegar water pretty much right before I started filming this part with the ice cream.